Good evening. It is Monday, February 26, 2018. We are the Bitter Knitters. My name is Jacqueline and Arthur is here.
Hey,
How's it going?
not too bad yourself.
Okay. We had to take a week off last week because I had a toothache and I had the tooth pulled today, and Arthur was having a wonderful life, having a nice dinner out.
Yeah, that's what I do, living that high life.
Living that high life.
Yeah, going to discount restaurants.
Yes. You know what, though? I'm not the kind of person that likes high-end stuff. It's too frou-frou, and I'm a pig.
Hey,
So, like, I don't want to eat a steak the size of a loony.
for me, it's like if I get judged walking in there for not wearing a collared shirt, fuck you. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat your goddamn establishment anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, I like going to diners. I really love diner food.
Yeah, same here. Wimpy's. Wimpy's all the fucking way.
Yeah, Wimpy's is good. And I like going to, there's a place out here. It's an Italian all-you-can-eat buffet. Frankie Tomatoes. Love it. Love, love, love.
That sounds like a whole batch of fucking heartburn waiting to happen.
Oh, really? I don't really get heartburn from pasta or Italian food. I don't know. I love it.
Too much, I definitely do. But yeah.
So let's talk about some stories. I want to talk about this one especially because anybody who listens regularly knows how upset Arthur gets with bad behavior from tourists.
Yeah.
Now, this technically wasn't a tourist, but it was the traveling Chinese terracotta warrior show.
Yeah.
It was in was it Chicago? Philadelphia.
Philly,
yeah. It was in the Philadelphia Museum. They were having some sort of party in the museum.
Yep.
And the terracottas were supposed to be off limits. Nobody was supposed to go there, but people were able to sneak in. After the people that snuck in left, one guy remained behind and he took some selfies with the warriors and that sort of thing, and then he broke off one of their thumbs and kept it.
And that guy's an asshole. He's a fucking asshole.
What a dick. By the way, just so you know his name, oh, of course my screen just jumped. I think it said Michael Rona.
No, the Terracotta Warriors are cool as shit. I got to see them when that same show came to Toronto a few years ago now, and it was cool. It's to me, it's been like, for me, it's always been one of like the really cool kind of archaeological finds, I guess. But yeah, this guy's a fucking dick. It makes sense. He's from Philly. Like, it absolutely makes sense that he's a fucking like Philly fanatic.
Well, he was wearing a Phillies hat.
Of course he was. Yeah, and like, wasn't he wearing green fuzzy pants too? Like,
well, it says a green sweater. I don't know if he was wearing fuzzy pants.
Maybe that's.
But I mean, there's a good chance he was.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I can't believe that. Like, the funny thing is like, do the Americans not remember them fucking up the Tutankhamun exhibit for the rest of the world? They did such a shitty job fucking displaying it and bringing it back into their crates that a bunch of the shit got damaged. Now the fucking Museum of Cairo will not fucking let the artifacts out again, all because of shitty Americans.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off because, like, Dad's rubbed that in my face for fucking years. Like, I got to go see some of the shit they allow out at the AGO about 5 or 6 years ago now. And I was like, fuck, this is cool. Like, this is stuff found in Tutankhamun's tomb, And I come home and I'm all happy, and Dad's like, yeah, well, I got to see the real shit before the Americans fucked us all over. So now, you got to go to Egypt.
Yeah, I remember when that came in, like, what, 78 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. And
I didn't see it either, but I remembered I wanted to see it so badly.
Yeah, it got so damaged that they said flat out they will never, ever fucking let that shit out of Egypt again. And now, with the Chinese being how they are, they're relatively strict. Chances are the terracotta exhibit is going back to China.
And you can't even really blame them.
No, not at all. He took a fucking thumb off something. And it's not like these terracotta warriors were like built en masse. Like, these are all sculpted after an original person. Like, they're all different. Like, that was one of the coolest things about the whole thing to me was,
it wasn't like they had like a freaking mold and they poured the clay in and there you go. No, somebody thousands of years ago made these with their hands, and this is art. This is beautiful art.
It was like something said at the exhibit is like the first example of like real sculpting outside of Rome. And like by that, what they're trying to say is like, fuck, how do I want to say this?
Kind of like a realistic sort of thing?
Like a real person, no artistic bullshit. Like it was all the scale, everything was done correct, and then you have, of course, again, some dumbass fucking Yank go and fucking ruin it for the rest of us. I'm not happy with that.
No, and it's what a jerk off. What a complete and utter jerk off. That's all you can really say about this guy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's
And that's the thing. One
ridiculous.
person ruins it for everybody, and that's how it always is. That's everything in life,
Yeah,
One person ruins it for all of us.
but at the same point in time, like, it makes me wonder about this fucking museum security. Like, I can just sneak around your fucking museum around priceless artifacts and go break
Well,
thumbs off shit. Like,
that's one of the things China was mad about. Like, how
yeah,
is this even possible that this happened?
yeah, of course. Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, like, I was just at the ROM last weekend to see the Viking exhibit, and like the spikes even that they dug out of the ground that they used to build their boats, those artifacts are fucking priceless. Like, you're not gonna
Yeah,
find them.
yeah.
And you can get within fucking 5 feet of them. But yet I can just fucking walk through an unsecured door and go snap the thumb off a fucking,
It's
that's ridiculous.
crazy.
It's
It's
fucking
crazy.
insane.
Now he was charged. This is good. He was arrested and charged with theft and concealment of a major artwork, as well as interstate transportation of stolen goods. He also should have been charged with damaging. I don't know what the rule would be, but some sort of like, I don't know, vandalism or destruction. I don't know. He did have to surrender his passport, so he can't flee the country. I
Oh,
guess he
I mean,
might
I
have
guess.
fled and become an international art theft
Yeah.
thief.
It's
But,
just like, what do you think? Like, in what mind do you go, oh, this is a great idea. I'm going to snap a piece off this fucking sculpture. And then what? Then you got this random thumb sitting on a bookshelf at your fucking house, like, that you can't explain because, you're a fucking criminal. But I mean, it is Philly, so I guess he could have still,
this
worn on a
statue alone,
necklace.
by the way, just so people know this, because I'm just looking at it here, is roughly 2,000 years old.
Yep.
And it alone is estimated at $4.5 million.
Yeah, exactly. Just one of them. Just one of those goddamn terracotta warriors is worth that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And okay, cool. I understand that in the King's Chamber where they discovered these, there are literally thousands of them. Like, it's fucking crazy. We don't.
But that doesn't mean it's not worth anything.
Right? Exactly.
It's still
That doesn't mean
important.
you just get to go around fucking breaking pieces off of it whenever on a fucking whim. But again, it makes sense. Like, when I was reading that this morning and I seen Philadelphia, I was like, yeah, like that.
This is just like one of those gross bro guys that think they're so funny and cool,
exactly.
Ugh.
He probably took part in beating the shit out of that robot that Canada sent around.
Oh yeah, our happy little friendly robot that got destroyed in Philly.
Made it through everywhere, safe and fucking sound. Spends one afternoon in Philadelphia and it's addicted to meth. It got into a fucking street fight.
Probably got gang raped and everything.
Yeah, spent $3,200 US on fucking gray sweatpants. Like, its life was just never the same afterwards.
Philly.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But yeah, no, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, and let's go on to the next topic because it's one of the other things we constantly talk about for some reason. We're obsessed with, or I am, I don't know. Sex robots. We talk about them a lot on the show because they're, like we said many times, they're fascinating to us.
Yeah,
who's going to buy them? What are they going to do with them? What's the impact on society with these sex robots? Right. So now, this is the headline. This is from the Daily Beast. Child sex robots are coming to America, which I'm not surprised. We've talked about this previously about child sex robots. But there's a congressman that wants to kind of introduce legislation to ban the child sex dolls and the robots before, we get a ton of them here.
Yeah.
In, I guess, North America even.
I get it. And it's weird because at some point they're like, within this, I want to say, no, you shouldn't, you know what I mean? But like, they still represent kids. Like, we know what they are. It's not like they're selling them or marketing them as like dwarf or anything like that. Like, they're fucking children. They're marketed as a child sex doll. No, that shit shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, we shouldn't be even though it's not a person, even though it's not child pornography, there's not a victim. It's still representing a child.
Exactly.
And it's still kind of not kind of, it is encouraging pedophilia.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I've seen a lot of, I don't want to say pro pedophilia shit, but kind of like pedophile fucking apologists in the last little bit saying how, they're not sick. I just find children attractive. I would never touch one, but it's like, no, as a society, we shouldn't let that shit slide. Like, we should
No,
be like, it's
you
okay.
might not touch one now, but maybe in 10 or 15 years, you're not going to be able to resist.
Well, for me, it's just still the thought. It's the thought that
Yeah.
you're still sexualizing a fucking child. No,
Yeah.
I don't care that
Wanking
you're
off to a
Yeah.
kid, or I'm at the beach with my grandkids or my niece or my nephew, and you're like,
right. It's fucking
thinking about
disgusting.
them in their bathing suits or whatnot. No,
Yeah, no, fuck you. But yeah, no, that's messed up, and it's. But again, what do you do? You know what I mean? Like, how can you put in legislation against something like that? Because
Well, this guy's
going
gonna
to
try.
silicone.
I do love the name of the act he's trying. It's Curbing Realistic Exploitative Electronic Pedophilic Robots, otherwise known as Creeper.
Well, that rolls right off the tongue.
It's pretty clever, Creeper Act. But he's gonna try because he's basically saying that it might deter it for a short period of time, but it also might jack up the pedophile urges that maybe the doll is not going to be enough, and you're going to move on to, you really want to hear, because you might be the kind of person that wants to hear the kid screaming or begging, and the doll is not going to do that. The robot's not going to do that. Maybe you want real tears. Who knows what these sickos want? Right?
I don't like it.
There is a case here. I was not made aware of this, so I saw this in the article. A case here in Canada that began in 2013 when they intercepted the controlled delivery of one such child doll. It's still being prosecuted now, and I guess there's nothing yet that has come out. But.
Like, to say that there's no benefit at all to having these child-sized dolls, I think is wrong. I mean, first responders and shit like that, I think it benefit huge off of having something like that as a training tool. But you give something like that to a pervert, like, here's a bunch of silicone molded to look like a child. Now have sex with it. No, go fuck yourself.
It's gross.
That's fucking.
Well, and I have no problem if people are into dwarves, little people, and they want to bone a little person, or maybe you are a little person and you can't find someone out there, so you want to have a doll for you. No problem with that. But anything that literally is supposed to look like a child on purpose, it's gross.
But that's just it, though. It's not like they're making them to be dwarves. You know what I mean? They are fucking children. Like, they are literally children. Like,
little
that's the whole
innocent
point.
faces and little kid clothes, and that's what it is.
That's not right. That's not right at all. But I mean, like, again, though, there is that kind of catch-22 of it's just a piece of fucking silicone. Yeah. And I try to think of it like that, but I mean, I can't. I keep coming back to it. It's a fucking kid. Like, you're telling me that you're going to start selling, child-sized things, pieces of silicone for fucking perverts to have sex with? No, I don't want that shit here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leave that shit in the places of the world where it's still fucking legal to bang fucking children. Keep that shit the fuck out of here.
Which is disgusting in itself, but we force laws in other countries, sadly. No,
but the great thing is, and I was reading about this when the Cotter thing was first coming around, that you can be charged for doing something outside of Canada, even if it's not illegal in the country that you're doing it. If when you get home, you go to jail. So
that's what they're monitoring. Some of these guys, especially here in Canada, these guys that go to Bangkok or places that are known, children's sex trade places.
Fucking
and even there was that big story in Australia where they took the guy's passport away, so he could not travel but now this guy's trapped in Australia, and he's going to look for an outlet in another way.
Yeah, no, that shit's
messed
up.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
But a little bit of lighter one. I don't know if you've seen this. So there was a brothel in the UK that was renting out sex dolls, and the people in the neighborhood got fucking livid mad, and they forced this place to close down. Now, for me, I think that's kind of wrong. They weren't doing anything wrong. They were just banging pieces of silicone. No different than, these creeps inviting their buddies over and having a fucking circle jerk in their living room.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, there's no harm, no foul. But so because they got fucking shut down by these council estates, they had to start giving away all their fucking inventory. So they had something like 30 or 40 fucking sex dolls that they were just giving away.
Thousands of dollars.
Thousands and thousands of dollars. I know they raffled a few, but I was pissing myself laughing when I seen that. Like, because they thought they had it.
How do you clean those out?
Will they fit in a dishwasher?
I doubt it. I mean, I guess put it in the shower and shove a hose up there.
Yeah, take a shower with it. I'm pretty sure, for the female ones, their parts kind of removed, so I mean,
Oh, okay. I had no clue.
so
That makes sense.
maybe yeah, a dishwasher. I think they're dishwasher safe.
Okay. Oh,
I don't know.
that's smart.
I'll let you know when I order mine.
Okay, yeah, let me know. I want to inspect it before you start using her, okay?
Oh, I mean, no,
Before.
okay, yeah, okay.
I don't want to see the used goods, but I do want to see it. I would be really interested to see one, honestly, with my own eyes
Yeah.
and check it out. I think it'd be interesting. Maybe the next time they have one of those like sex trade.
Oh, at the fucking exhibition place, the
Yeah.
sex show. Guaranteed they'll be
they
there.
have a doll there.
Guaranteed
Maybe
they'll be
I'll
there.
go.
But like the child thing also brings up another point though, like with these dolls is now animals. Right?
Yes.
Now you can get even the fucking I mean, I don't even know if you can call
A
them words
goat,
like
a sheep, whatever.
right? Like, yeah, you go and buy a fucking elephant if that's your fucking kink, a dolphin, a fucking manatee. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's fucking weird. Like it's
The only animal I ever had a crush on was Robin Hood from the Disney Robin Hood movie.
I don't
He was
know
a
that.
fox. He was a fox.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say fucking Falcor from the Neverending Story.
Oh no, that's scary as shit.
But yeah, it's just weird. Like, and like, how do you put sanctions or like, you know, whatever on fucking sex toys? Like, how it makes no sense, but something has to be done. Like, you can't allow
it's like
that.
I've said before, it's kind of scary. Like these guys that are like, well, I don't want to say just guys, but some of the people that are like really into violence and they like to punch and choke and stab. They're going to do that to their sex dolls, which is all fine and good, but it's still kind of creepy that there's people out there doing that sort of thing. And I know you can't legislate how somebody has sex with their sex doll in their private house, but it's just, they get into that, they get used to that, and when they finally get a real person, are they going to do that and possibly really injure somebody?
Yeah, it's fucking Jian Ghomeshi all over again.
Exactly.
The whole thing's weird. Like it really is, and it's odd that like something as kind of innocuous as a sex toy is encouraging this kind of topic. You know what I mean? Because it's true. Like, I mean, you think of like dildos and vibrators and stuff like that. Like, there's nothing against them. Like, there's no laws unless you're living in the Bible Belt. Then I'm sure there's fucking laws and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I was informed a little while ago that there's no fucking like toy shops, sex toy shops in Mississippi, I think it was.
Oh my God, really? I guess I have to order online.
Yeah, because they're all fucking Puritans, right? Like they can't handle that. Like sex is only for procreation. You can't. It's not fun.
It's gonna lead to kids getting pregnant and gangs in the streets.
Right? Because nowhere in the Bible did Jesus ever have fun having sex. So they can't.
Well, they forget about the Song of Solomon, which is pretty sexy.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fucking weird.
Yeah,
the whole thing's weird.
Before we move on, I just wonder, like, what if you have one of these sex dolls, right? And like your mom comes by to visit, like,
well, I mean, hey, it's my house, so don't judge me for leaving.
But you don't leave your vibrators or your fleshlights hanging around.
I mean, obviously, you don't know me.
I've been to your house and I didn't see any of those things.
Yeah, well, like, Jesus, like, if I want to decorate my house with fucking fleshlights for lampshades, I'll do what I want. Like, fuck out of here. But yeah, no.
Like, I mean, your mom goes in, because moms, they're gonna go in and look at your bedroom and like make your bed or something stupid. And
well, maybe if she spent more time helping me become not as socially awkward and fucking rifling through my shit, maybe I wouldn't need a fucking sex doll. All right, so it's her fault. That's your fault. My fucking shamefulness is all on you.
Crusty sex doll is your fault, Mom.
Yeah, it's all your fault. And the reason she's unwashed, that's me rebelling. Fuck you and your rules.
Maybe I should be saving up to buy one for my son. What you're telling me.
Hey, whatever you want to get him for his 19th, you know what I mean? Like, it's a big birthday. I get it. I'm sure Logan would put one to good use.
I'm sure he could.
I'm just waiting to see them in like carpool lanes and shit like that. Because I mean, they look really realistic.
Like at a restaurant. Like, what if you like you're sitting in a what are your discount restaurants? You're at Wimpy's and somebody brings one in on a date, because there's people that are in love. We saw that guy who's in love and in a relationship with his in Germany or France.
Yeah, I mean, if that happens, I mean, like, cool, more power to you, bud.
I'm definitely taking
you
pictures
have.
and
Oh,
laughing.
fuck yeah. I'm taking pictures. I'm laughing. I'm shaming you on the internet. I know it's a shitty thing to do, but I'm doing it. But I applaud your bravery for bringing your fuck toy out to dinner. Because you know what I mean? Like, we're all looking at you going, you fuck this thing. Like, you sick, lonely fucking bastard. You have sex with this fucking 200-pound piece of silicone. The fuck happened in your life that went so horribly fucking wrong? Because, like, I keep, like, it's... Why not just get a hooker? Like I don't get it.
You know what? Get the hooker leaves, and this is somebody you can talk to. And like you said, put your arm around it while you're watching a movie, or stroke its hair, whatever. Cuddle it. I
think that's like the weirdest part for me though. Is like you have to play dress up and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm not saying like it's unmanly or anything like that. It's It's just fucking weird to me.
What's Sally gonna wear today?
Right? Like,
you gotta have your matching pink pumps and.
Like, yeah, it's fucking odd. Yeah. But it's not even the weirdest one. Like I was saying to you after one of the last shows we did, I think we were talking about this, and I explained to you what a waifu is.
Oh, about those that's weird
anime dweebs that fucking date cartoon characters. And they make body pillows and like they cut holes in them and stuff various fucking meats in them. Like, I don't know. I'm not aware of all the inner workings.
I've never heard of that. That is so weird.
It's so fucked up. And I never heard of it either until a few years ago.
I mean, I get why people would get like a boy band member on a pillow. Oh, and I'm sure they kissed it or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe humped it. I'm not going to judge you. You're a young girl. Mm-hmm. But a full body pillow that you walk around in public.
Yeah.
In public.
You introduce to your parents as your girlfriend. It's a fucking cartoon character. And like this isn't like, I mean, it's a very small demographic of fucking weirdos that do this.
Yeah.
But I mean, even a small
demographic. When you think people can't get any weirder, they always out weird.
And that's kind of what it is for me, at least. It's just everyone one-upping each other for like the just fucking disgusting factor. You know what I mean? Like everything's just weird. And I'm
like the most vanilla person in the world compared to these weirdos, like really honest to God. And I used to think I was like, ooh, I'm adventurous and kinky. No, I'm not at all.
You're not kinky until you own a fucking $16,000 sex toy that you fucking tote around in a fucking wheelchair.
Apparently. Or my boyfriend a pillow.
Oh my God. I'm so like, I'm happy I haven't seen it in real life, but I want to see it so bad. Like,
maybe I could do that with like Idris Elba. Print him on a pillow.
Absolutely, you can.
And I could have like my Idris Elba husband.
Right, because I'm pretty sure it would fall under the fair use policy. Right, you can't get in shit for using someone's likeness as long as you're not making money off it.
I'm not making money off of it.
No, but
you never know.
Next
time you see me at a family get together, it just might be with me.
Yeah, well, just make sure you wash them.
Definitely. I'll lay down some dental dams.
Oh, fuck.
I've never even seen a dental dam in real life. Anyway.
This whole thing's so weird. Like, it's so weird.
So bizarre.
Fuck.
Okay, let's talk about this next one. Because, I mean, we were away for a lot of it last week. The Texas shooting at Parkland.
Florida.
The town of Parkland at Doug. I can't remember the name. It's like a long lady's name. Mary Douglas High School. 17 people died.
Yeah.
So now the students, and I'm really, really proud of the teenagers, not just the ones coming from this school, but around America and even in Canada. I'm seeing a movement. People that want to protest and make their school safe, which is fantastic. Now there's been a school district in Texas. This is the only one I've read of so far. Mm-hmm. There might be more, but so far it's just this one district, Meadville Independent School District in Texas. Their school superintendent, Curtis Rhodes, is saying that if any of their students march out of school or protest where they're seen publicly protesting, they will be suspended for 3 days.
Yeah, you can't do that. It's constitutional right.
You know what? If I was a parent and my kid got suspended for that, I'd be fucking proud of them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can't tell people what they can't protest. You can't tell them if they can or can't. That goes against everything that the Americans stand for. You know what I mean? How you going to say something like that? Like,
well, and I mean, if the whole school goes, you're going to suspend the whole school,
right?
That's a lot of paperwork. Good luck.
I understand. I do understand the fear. You know what I mean? Because let's face it, revolutions aren't won by old people. They're won by young people. So I mean, you gun-loving, fucking murder-loving, fucking Americans. Your shit's gonna change. Like, sorry, not fucking sorry.
I'm
but
so
it's gonna
happy
change.
the generation is
Yeah.
finally waking up and they're
Yeah.
getting interested in politics. I read a statistic just this morning that in the because now I don't know if a lot of people understand. So they have their big every 4 years they have their presidential election, and then they have every 4 years too, but it's alternate 2 years.
Yeah.
So it'll be this year, this fall. They're going to have their other, or I don't even know. I guess their states and their Congress and their Senates.
Yeah.
Elections. So last time, 55% of people over the age of 40 or 50 were participated and voted, but only 16% of 18 to 25-year-olds had.
Yeah.
I think that number is going to change this time.
Well, it has to, with all the bitching they've been doing. Like, you can bitch in the streets all you want. You know what I mean? Protest all you want. But unless you get into a voting booth, you're not doing anything. Because let's face it, like, even all these fucking Americans that, you know, are just gripping on their fucking guns with their dying breaths. You don't even have what it takes to overthrow the government. Your only chance to do anything is to vote. Like, it literally is. It's the only way you can make any kind of changes. Get off your fucking ass and vote.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sucks. It sucks for this old guard because the young people don't fucking care anymore, which is kind of insane to me when you do kind of think of it. Because except really for Paddock, most of these mass shooters have been young people.
Yeah,
right? It has been a lot of young people committing these crimes, which you know might say something to the whole medication culture that we're in.
Yeah.
But you know, I've been looking at it a lot. I haven't really thrown an opinion of mine in the ring. You know, I've just been reading a lot of what my American friends have to say about everything after this. And the biggest thing I keep seeing a lot of them say is that they want to arm teachers. They want armed fucking teachers in the schools protecting the kids. Now, okay, I can understand on the surface how that's an attractive idea.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, because you got, maybe 50 teachers in the school.
Right, yeah, it's an attractive idea. And I can understand how that might mean safety to you, but I think it's one of the stupidest fucking things I've ever heard. You know, so when the shooting happened, the news was toting around the number of 45 school shootings in the year, right? But it hadn't even been fucking 45 days long yet.
Yeah.
And then so a lot of the pro-gun people came out and said, well, no, you got it wrong. Most of those were like suicide attempts. Okay, yeah, I'll agree with you there. That probably shouldn't be lumped in with school shootings. So now you have a teacher who's stressed the fuck out, carrying a fucking gun, on edge all the time, sees a kid walk in the school with a handgun. All the kid wants to do is make a fucking show of him pretending to kill himself, shoots that fucking kid thinking he's a school shooter. What's that make that teacher? A fucking murderer. A flat-out murderer. You know what I mean? It's a stupid fucking idea.
There's so many dangerous scenarios. Let's talk about, remember the autistic kid that had the little, he wasn't even a kid, the autistic man who had the toy car and they shot his handler.
Yeah.
So now you've got a teacher, and let's hope he's not a black teacher, a black male teacher walking around with a gun in the school, and they show up, and who's the first person to get shot?
Right. I keep saying the same sentiment. Only a good guy with a gun can stop a bad guy with a gun. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you are factually correct on that. Yeah. But how about you change it to, hey, maybe we should look at our justifiable fucking homicide laws and change our culture on the fact that, we really do want to kill one another. And that's honestly what I keep putting it down to. Everyone keeps saying it's a mental health issue. It's a gun control issue. No, it's a problem with fucking Americans. There's guns here in Canada. There's shit tons
and there's mental health here.
There's mental health. Exactly. I'm not fucking mentally stable. You know what I mean? Sweden, there's fucking guns there. There's guns all over the fucking world, but there's no problem with people fucking murdering each other on fucking mass.
Like, we don't have a ton of school. We don't have school shootings, but they're like every few years, every 5 years, every 10 years. They're not every week.
I won't say that's a solely American problem. I won't, because that's
not
ignorant as fuck for me to say. To me, the problem is that the Americans, they idolize fucking outlaws and shit like that. You idolize somebody like Billy the fucking Kid. And I've seen this. I've seen people. They're real Americans. They're fucking murderers. You want to hold on to your rights so bad to murder your fucking neighbor for fucking with your green beans in your garden. You know what I mean? And to me, that's literally what it is. Like, that's what it will always come down to for me. It's not protecting your home. It's you want to have the right to fucking murder somebody. Justifiable homicide, that whole notion, that whole mindset needs to be stripped away from these fucking people. You have to stop thinking that you have the right to murder somebody and be justified doing that. That's the big difference between countries like Canada, the UK, and the States. We have
It would be
guns.
shocking for people to, in Canada, I can't speak for other countries, but I know in Canada, it would be shocking for any, I can't imagine any person who would think that we need guns in our schools by teachers.
I'd be fucking.
I just can't even imagine anybody agreeing with that here in Canada.
Like, I'd be livid mad. And I got in this argument with a guy about castle laws. He was saying, "Hey, we should really implement castle laws here in Canada." And this was after the whole Bushi thing happened in Saskatchewan. And I don't
know what a castle law is.
So castle law essentially states that if you step in my house without my permission, I can murder you and get away with it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, castle law. And the crazy thing about these castle laws is they even carry over to my neighbors. If I caught you, excuse me.
Trespassing on my neighbors. Yeah.
I could fucking murder you, execute you. I could put a bullet in the back of your fucking skull and get away scot-free. That is bullshit. That's not
crazy.
And when you honestly do look at the Americans, and I mean, again, I'm trying to be as unbiased about this. Like, I don't have a fucking hate on for the fucking Americans. I don't.
No.
But like in the realm of this, I seriously see that as the biggest issue, is the fact that you've grown up thinking that there are scenarios where you can justifiably take a person's fucking life. You know, there's home invasions here. There's strong arm robberies here.
Oh yeah.
You know, we still don't have that mentality of, you know what? No, I have every right to murder this motherfucker and not go to jail for it. No, you gotta end that
those
shit.
People.
Yeah, fuck
people that are in gangs or people that shoot somebody in the street. We're disgusted by those people.
Like, I'm even fucking.
They're not our heroes.
I'm so fucking mad over the case that happened in Saskatchewan. I cannot believe that farmer got off. Like, I am so fucking disgusted by our judicial system. He executed a fucking guy. He shot someone in the back of the fucking skull while they were running away. That is an execution. There is no fucking self-defense.
And they tried to have a GoFundMe for him, I saw.
Yeah, of course they did. Of course they did. But there's no realm where you can justify that to me as a fucking as an incident of self-defense. You shot someone in the back of the fucking skull. You are a murderer. You are a fucking murderer. And I cannot believe that he was found not guilty. You know, and I'm not anti-gun. And I had one of my friends say that to me.
We're not anti-gun.
You must be anti-gun. No, I love guns. I just don't like the thought that you have the right to murder somebody. Like, you don't. You don't have the right to take anyone's fucking life. I don't give a fuck if they're on your property. Hoopty fucking ding dong. Like, you know, self-defense is self-defense. I understand that. I wholeheartedly understand if somebody is literally threatening your fucking life. Okay.
Yes, that's different.
So what? Somebody broke in your house to try to steal your fucking bicycle. That doesn't equate you murdering somebody.
Keep yourself safe.
And honestly, like, I mean, again, like, to say that the gun control debate or whatever the fuck is happening down there within the last like fucking 20 years, it's not a one size issue. It's not an issue that you're just gonna find one fucking problem and you're gonna fix that problem and everything's gonna be a-okay. It's not. You know, mental health is an issue.
Exactly. Banning AR-15s isn't going to solve the problem.
No,
there's a lot more problems, you know, a lot more things that have to be fixed before.
Exactly. But you guys, you need to start. Like, I'm just so sick and tired of seeing this NRA versus everybody kind of bullshit. Like, it's just, it's fucking crazy. It's insane to me that, you know, again, like a lot of these gun proponents say, it's just a tool. A gun has never harmed somebody by itself. Okay, yeah, you know, you're right.
Of course not.
But yeah, you're willing to fight to the death over that. Like, it's just so fucked up. It's
and the thing is like, okay, so yeah, a gun doesn't hurt anybody by itself.
Yeah.
But a gun that can hold 90 bullets as opposed to a nut job with a knife.
Right. And I mean, even you can't even use that as an example. Well, not right now because it's fresh in most of these people's minds because there was a knife attack in China where 29 people were stabbed to death.
But that was more than one person.
Yeah, and that's like the rarest fucking thing ever. Like, I don't give a shit. Try to do that again.
One person with a knife might get 1 or 2 people. Yeah. You're not getting like 17 people.
No. It's just, I mean, again, I just don't like murder. I don't. Like, I don't agree with it. I don't think there's ever going to be a time where you have the right.
I don't know if you read this story, but I saw a story that came out last week, and this is exactly why we should not have teachers armed with guns. In Pennsylvania, in August of just last year, when school went back, a 66-year-old teacher who had a gun. I guess she had her, conceal and carry license or whatever. She had her gun. She took it off in the bathroom to go to the bathroom. forgot it on the back of the toilet,
Huh.
and 4 students went into that bathroom stall and saw the gun and had access to that gun.
Yeah, but that's cool. You know, it's just so funny.
Elementary school students at that too. It wasn't even high school. Elementary school students. I mean, we know how many times 7-year-olds get their heads blown off by guns.
Yeah, right. That's another thing too. When I was arguing the whole castle law, fucking conceal and carry bullshit here in Canada, that was one of the things I said. I was like, it's one thing I definitely want to see more of in the news is more children fucking blowing their heads off with their parents' fucking firearms. I really think Canada needs a lot of that.
Yeah, we need shit more of that.
You know, and it's just. Again, it's not a one-size-fits-all problem. It's really not. There's so many fucking layers to this shit. But something has to get done. Like, the Americans, unfortunately, you guys are the laughingstock of the fucking world. You have been for some years. You really have been for some years. You throw this shit into the mix, and we can't contain our laughter at you anymore. We can't. You guys are doing this to yourselves. You are doing it to your fucking selves. You refuse to acknowledge that there's a problem. Instead, you keep trying to find scapegoat after scapegoat after scapegoat.
Oh, blaming these kids rising up and demanding change on the leftist liberal media, controlling them.
And even that really fucking ticked me off. Within fucking minutes of that fucking shooting happening, I seen so many people toting around a picture of the kid wearing one, he was wearing a MAGA hat. The other picture I seen them toting around a lot was a picture of him wearing a hammer and sickle shirt. So aligning him with Antifa. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? 17 people were just murdered, 15 of them being fucking children. And your concern is to push a fucking political narrative. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? That you look at this tragedy as a fucking political platform, somewhere for you to grandstand over your fucking friends and be like, see how fucking right I was?
And all these people are doing. Exactly.
It's so fucking disgusting that you can look at a tragedy, something like that happened to fucking children. I understand a few adults died too, but let's face it, these were fucking children.
But they were still innocent adults.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're
innocent fucking people, but yet you want to use that as a fucking political platform, somewhere for you to fucking wave that fucking red, white, and blue and fucking shoot off your gun and fucking get a blowjob while drinking fucking Bud Light.
My favorite moment of last week was Scott was watching that town hall meeting with Marco Rubio. And when that kid stood up and said, you need to promise me, or are you willing to promise me you'll never take another dollar from the NRA? And of course, Marco Rubio would not accept that because he's gotten over $3 million from the NRA.
It's insane. And I mean, I'm not one to sit here and say who can fucking lobby politically and who can't. I'm not one to make that decision. I'm not fucking near high enough to make that kind of a decision. But it's true. Like, they don't have the average citizen's fucking best interest in hand. They don't give a shit. The NRA.
I'm not even going to talk about the NRA. Any group that's lobbying the government and giving government officials who have voting rights and making law rights money, something's wrong there. That's a really, and then we have it here too. That's a broken system.
Yep. It's just insane to me. It's just, again, I don't know how you could wake up, feel good about yourself, put the fucking revolver you had under your pillow all night in its fucking drawer for the day while you're at work, and feel good about yourself and feel like, you know what? I live in the best fucking country on earth. I live in the place.
And I'm so safe.
Yeah.
You're so safe. You need a gun to keep you safe.
Right. I had another American buddy of mine going off about, gun sales are up and gun crime is down. And I'm like, gun crime's down from what? Oh, well, about 30,000 shooting incidents. Oh, that's something to be real fucking proud of. You know what I mean? Like, we slightly dropped from 30,000 gun incidents in a fucking year. 30,000. 30 fucking thousand. Are you kidding me? You sit there and they fucking honestly believe they have the right to tell the rest of the world how they should live their fucking lives. Get your own shit together, you bunch of murderous fucking clowns. Like, seriously, I'm just so mad at this whole fucking thing, because the issue is right there. Like, to me, at least, the way I look at it, like, the solution is right there. Stop thinking you have a right to murder one another. Just stop. Like, get that thought out of your head. Just stop fucking glorifying the Hells Angels. Stop glorifying outlaws. They're not cool people. They're fucking murderers.
I hate that. Can I say that? I have quite a few Facebook friends that have posted about how good bikers are, that they're not, they raise so much money for charity, and then, they keep your neighborhood safe. They run fucking drugs. They control human trafficking. They're gang members. They're just not black.
And I understand. Yeah, okay. you know, I've seen the toy drive and stuff. They do
Yeah,
some
they do
good.
raise
That's
money.
great.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Wicked. Fucking
That doesn't
amazing.
wipe out what else you did. If I,
You know, exactly.
if I fucking rape a child and then I give charity money to, you know, Toys for Tots, that doesn't make me a good person
No.
now.
You know, and like it's just blows my mind. It fucking blows my mind that rather than wanting like true fucking safety, because I'm sorry, arming fucking teachers isn't true safety. You've just thrown another variable in the mix that's going to make a potential fucking bad guy with a gun that much more fucking sketchy with said fucking gun. It's a dumb fuck of an idea. But rather than get to the root of the fucking problem and actually to fix the fucking issue, no, we need more guns in more people's hands because we have the right to murder each other. And that's literally how I fucking see it. I would love for someone to try to change my mind on that. I really would, but I don't see it fucking happening. I honestly do look at it like that. They are just so infatuated and so in love with the idea. I said,
it's fetishized. It really is.
They have the right to murder each other for whatever fucking reason. Like it's nuts. It's fucking insane. It's insane. Yeah. You know, and I mean, how many more of these have to happen? Like, I'm tired of hearing the fucking bump stock bullshit. I'm tired of hearing the silencer, the fucking type of gun. I don't give a fuck about that. Why don't you talk about, you know, how you guys feel you have the right to fucking murder one another?
Yeah. And this isn't even covering, I don't even want to get into it, the security guard that was on site, the sheriff's deputy that did not go into there. I thought a good guy with a gun was going to stop this.
Right. And I mean, again, like, yeah, if you are correct about that, you know, only a good guy with a gun will stop a bad guy with a gun. Yeah, that's correct. You know, that's fucking empirically fucking true. You can't disprove that. Anytime there's been a bad dude shooting people where it got into a shootout, a good person either end up dying or shot that fucking bad person dead. Okay, fair point. But you're throwing another variable into this shit, a variable that I don't think any of these people actually understand. You don't think that teachers don't have mental health issues? You don't think that you might get a rash of
fucking... a student kind of starts, we've seen the videos where the students back talk the teachers, grab the teachers physically. And I'm not saying these kids are right. You shouldn't be fighting a teacher, but that doesn't mean you get to get shot to death in school.
No, but kids are fucking huge. Kids are fucking huge now. And yeah, it's true. What's some little
assholes? They don't listen to the teachers half the time.
You know, and I understand a lot of this is straw man. A lot of what I'm saying is, you know, they're straw man arguments. None of this can be proven. It's never happened. But at the same point in time, like, you have to think, like, there might be a kid who just gets angry one day. Teacher's fucking terrified for their life. So now they justifiably have the right to murder a fucking student in school. And that's cool. That's okay.
What's to say that they're not going to walk by the teacher and fucking get the gun out of their holster?
Steal the gun, yeah. You know? Or, you know, when these fucking depressed teachers that don't get paid enough, don't get the fucking recognition they deserve, don't get the time off they fucking deserve, end up fucking committing suicide. You know what I mean?
And let's talk about inner city schools. So now the kids are worried the teachers are armed, so the kids are going to start showing up with guns too?
The whole thing's fucking, it's ass backwards.
It's not a good situation. I will say this, though, because I want to move on.
Yeah.
There are a ton of colleges saying that they are not going to hold any kind of suspensions from schools for kids protesting.
Good.
So good for Yale University, MIT, Boston University, Tulane, Dartmouth. A whole bunch of these really prestigious schools are not going to hold it against them. So fantastic.
You know, I know none of the kids that will be, you know, essentially ruled over by this are listening. But hey, if you are, get out there and fucking protest. The more they tell you you shouldn't do it, fucking do it.
Yeah.
Because that means they're scared. That means what you guys are doing is working. You know what I mean?
I know that next week the schools here in Toronto are planning to do a walkout in a memoriam for the 17 students, and that's not the protest march on the 24th of March. So
get out there, get on the fucking streets, make your voice heard, piss off the people telling you you're not allowed to fucking do it. Seriously, because fuck them. They're the ones scared of change. You kids want to usher in change, usher in some fucking change.
There's a meme out there that has a list of the founding fathers of America, Alexander Hamilton, Jefferson, and it lists their names in 1776, and they're all under the age of 25.
Exactly. Like, I'm sorry, you know, even as far as most of these college age kids are concerned, you're a little too old now to really start the revolution. It's got to start with the young kids. And I'm happy as fuck to know that these young kids are fed up with the lot they've been given in life. I'm happy as hell that they're tired as fuck for feeling scared to go to fucking school. Like,
that's what I was saying to my daughter. I'm like, you know, you guys had to do, you know, active shooter drills.
Hell,
I never did that. That was not a thing when I was in school. That was not a thing. Yeah, after Columbine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I started doing those when I was in grade 4 or 5. So we're talking like, yeah, mid to late, yeah, late 90s. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that's not something any fucking kid should have to deal
No.
with going to school. You know what I
And there,
mean?
and I mean, can you imagine when there are lockdowns? And I mean, touch wood, and
Yeah.
thankfully there haven't been any school shootings here in Toronto.
Hmm.
There's been things happening outside the school, so the schools get locked down.
Yeah.
But that's still a terrifying thing to be
Oh,
on a lockdown. And
it's
I can't even
horrible.
imagine what these kids, literally in the school and hearing when you see those videos,
Yeah.
the gunshots and the
Oh,
kids
yeah.
screaming. I can't even imagine. And when I think I don't want to talk about it too much, but when I think of Sandy Hook and
Yeah.
I'd see the pictures of those little kids on the screen,
Yeah.
and people have the nerve, like Alex Jones, to say things like that was a false flag and those kids didn't really die.
Yeah, like I said before, I do consume some Alex Jones. I do it for the fucking laughs. Like normally that guy
Yeah.
just breaks me out fucking laughing. That fucking disgusted the shit out of me. Like I can't believe you have the balls to say that. Now I understand that with the Americans' freedom of speech, he has every fucking right to say that. He has every right to, and he shouldn't be persecuted by the law for it. He's just exercising his rights. But what a disgusting fucking human being for saying something like that. And yeah. Even minutes after that fucking shooting happened, and they were finally starting to show some of the interviews that the media was doing with the students, which again I think was in horrible fucking taste.
I think that was really bad.
Like they just survived the worst thing imaginable, and you're, oh, how do you feel? Did you know the shit? Like, fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Yes. But yeah, no, fuck, what a dick for saying something like that. I'm impressed. I haven't heard any of that from him yet.
Yeah.
But oh my god.
Let's see. Let's go on. Our next story. Now, you and I have talked about this previously, and I'm pretty sure you're the same as me. You would be 100% all in on this. There's a UK-based futurologist. His name is Ian Pearson. He announced last week that he believes humanity will achieve immortality by the year 2050. Basically saying you're going to upload there's a couple different things, but the best one, in my opinion, same as you, upload your brains into the internet.
Yeah.
He also says there's regenerative therapies. I don't think that's possible in that we would keep a 29 or 30-year-old body within 50 years. I don't believe that. Even with CRISPR, I don't think so. He also says android bodies, which would be kind of cool. I could be a sex robot. And the Matrix.
Yeah. The Matrix one I don't know about, because I mean, to me that just says that we let the world kind of go to shit around us while we're blissfully fucking elsewhere. But no, it's true. Like we got to move towards that stuff. I mean, again, it's fight or flight, right? Death is the ultimate fight.
Like any aliens that we ever encounter, any evolved aliens that we ever encounter, are probably going to be something like that.
Oh, 100%. 100%. There's no, I mean, as far as I know, with my limited understanding of biology and shit like that, there's no way there's anything that's made similar to us that could handle the rigors of fucking space travel. Like, it's insane. It's a radiation filled fucking vacuum where everything is just out there to kill you. You know, if you are fucking carbon based and biologically fucking made, like everything wants to kill you. Nothing in space is your friend, So yeah, like any kind of long space flight, it would have to be some type of robot, some kind of AI, something like that. I would highly doubt, unless these people or these aliens figured out cryo freezing.
Yeah.
Right. But there's no way. There's no fucking way possible for that shit to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. That. I remember reading too that they thought even with like replacing organs and stuff, you just physically, unless you had a whole new body to go into, your body, your cells only have a maximum. What was it? 150, they think?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was a movie with Scarlett Johansson, Lucy, I think it was called.
Okay, I didn't watch that, but I know what you're talking about.
Great fucking movie, and Morgan Freeman has that's kind of his whole thing in it was trying to figure out like how we can become immortal and shit like that, and it spoke a bit about that, about how eventually the cells just die, and if like in true, like a true sense of immortality, like that would be the necessary fix we'd have to make. We'd have to figure out how to be able to regenerate new cells. I mean, probably from our own existing stem cells, I would imagine is how it would have to work. But yeah, without that, that's just not a possibility.
So many stories last week. They had the stories about, I didn't read the whole story, but the guy who, one of those biohackers, those guys?
Yeah.
He herpes into his leg and
Yeah.
immediately regretted it, I guess, because he's got herpes now. I don't know.
Of course, yeah. You got herpes. Now you got to use that special dating site shit, bud. Like,
There was the story about the growing the replacement organs in the pigs and the animals.
Yeah.
And there was the story about they used I can't remember, something they did to the mice and got rid of all the tumors.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, they're making huge steps right now.
Yeah, no, medical science is, it's doing crazy shit behind closed doors, stuff that they don't really want the public to know about, because I mean, if PETA found out they were fucking giving cancer to mice, you might get a bunch of stinky hippies trying to burn down a fucking laboratory.
Yeah. Release your cancer rats.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't read the article. I have it, and we'll talk about it on Wednesday. But there's a story about nanobots.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's another cool technology that, I think going forward, putting a lot of our like scientific or STEM field research into that kind of stuff will be very beneficial to humanity as a whole. Yeah. Because, I mean, then you're talking about non-invasive surgeries. Just a needle, you know what I mean? Just a syringe. You pump some nanobots in. Yeah, you control them from the outside. Boom, done. Yeah.
We'll definitely be talking about that. I just wanted to ask you, though, before we move on to the very last story, because I think we'll have some fun with the last story. If you could, which of these forms would you do? Regenerative, android body, the Matrix, and what age would you do it at?
Can I go back? Or can I only do it from here on?
No, like, I mean, if they can give you a young 21-year-old body or whatever, sure.
Yeah, I want to go back to, like, before my metabolism kicked in and I started gaining this fucking beer gut. When I was like 22, 23.
Well, if they can keep you alive, I'm sure they can cure like obesity and a beer gut.
Okay, well, same kind of thing though. That was the last time I went to a mosh pit and didn't feel like I was gonna fucking die when I left it. So yeah, like 21, 22, and then I'd want fucking I'd want a physical body.
Yeah, I would prefer physical body too, because then you can experience tactile things too, right? Swim in the ocean, whatever the different things you'd want to do. Just see things. Go and see the terracotta warriors in their place,
Yeah. No,
I would do it. I think 21 was a good age. I was still pretty young and hot then.
Nice. Right. The wrinkles hadn't set in yet. I
had my old boobs though, so I would have to get.
You'd still have to get the surgery, yeah.
Yeah, because I was not happy with them boobs. But everything was still high and tight otherwise.
Fuck. But yeah, no, I mean, that's like an age-old question though, kind of deal, you know what I mean? Like, if you had the chance to be immortal.
Like a vampire or whatnot, right?
Absolutely. But I would want to be able to option out.
That's the thing. If I was immortal, I'd want to be able to die. I wouldn't want to be unable to die. I'd want to be able to die. Like if I was a vampire, go into the sunlight and die when I'm ready to die.
There's still that option. Of like it's not infinite. Like you still have a finite amount of time, and that to me is an attractive thought. But to literally be immortal, you cannot die. Like your cells, your being, your everything about you cannot know. That's fucking ridiculous.
That'd be a lonely life. Because what if Liz, didn't opt into the immortality and.
Well, I'm immortal, and there'll be bitches throughout history.
You're such an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this last story. I'm sure you heard about it. You go on Reddit. I'm sure this is a big story on Reddit. The big, huge story in the UK this year. It's not what's happening with Brexit. It's not about possible terrorists. It's not about the royal wedding. It's about KFC ran out of chicken.
I did hear about that, and it was a shitstorm.
They had to temporarily close hundreds of restaurants. 800 of the 900 locations in Britain were closed.
Yeah.
And people, of course, lost their minds.
Oh, of course. Well, for one, KFC's not even that fucking good. Like, it's not that good. Like, not good enough for me to fucking, get out and fucking riot. But, I mean, your fucking store is called Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like, where the fuck's the chicken?
Where's the chicken? Yeah.
Right? Like, you can't call yourself that without chicken. I can only imagine the fucking people freaking out, though. Something similar happened a few years back. There was a Popeyes location in the state.
I was just going to talk about the Popeyes in Buffalo. It was Buffalo.
And they ran out of their chicken because it had some deal on.
It was like $2 Tuesday or something.
And those videos were fucking hilarious. Like people were losing their shit.
What am I going to feed my babies?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, bitch. Like, you
Go
should have
to
thought
a
of,
different store.
right? Like, you should have thought of that before you put all your fucking eggs in the Popeyes basket. Like, other people like fucking dry as fuck biscuits too. Fuck out of here.
You know what I do like at KFC? I love the popcorn chicken.
Yeah, that's good.
And their Big Crunch sandwich is really good.
Gravy. That's
the gravy.
Really it.
I drink that gravy.
Yeah, straight
it's
up.
So like, good. And that hasn't changed since I was a kid. That gravy still tastes the same.
No, I IV drip that stuff into my veins, but I mean, I'm guaranteed a fucking heart attack anyway without that shit. So,
but yeah, I mean, and people were mad. I did like what they did as their little kind of apology. I don't know if it's an apology, but they took their bucket of chicken and instead of putting KFC, they put FCK.
Yeah, I saw that. That was good. See, that's another thing I love about Europe. They don't you can do something like that without having a bunch of screaming fucking evangelical moms out there. Yeah, think about the children. Like what? Fuck out of here. It's a word.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's not even a word.
No. Yeah, fair enough.
FCK is not even a word.
Yeah, your filthy fucking mind is making it something that's not. Like, get out of here. Something similar. There's an old clothing company that was the same thing. It was SCUK. And I remember in high school, like, we weren't allowed to wear that shit. And I was like, why? It doesn't say anything. Well, Arthur, you know what it implies. What's it imply? Well, it implies a very, very wrong word. Well, no, it doesn't. Like, that's just you being a fucking asshole thinking that it does.
See, I remember thinking that was so unclever, that whole clothing line. I just remember being like, ugh. Like, I mean, I get it. Everybody likes the word fuck, but it's just like, oh, but I'm so clever. Even that.
It's the designer's name plus the fucking country he originated from. I can't remember his name. But yeah, his name was FC from the fucking UK. So how can you even tell me that it's
he did that?
Oh, absolutely. What a great fucking way to brand your shit. Everyone loves curse words. I got this one shirt. I mean, it used to be on my picture here for the show, and on the breast of the shirt it says Canadian as fuck. I love that shirt just because it has a curse word on it, and I know I can't wear it in public. I love that.
Well, and they're all over. Like, if you go to BuzzFeed, they'll have articles where you can buy necklaces or chains or coffee mugs, and they all say, something.
But yeah, I could only imagine being an employee at one of these goddamn restaurants that fucking ran out of, like...
I hope they closed down and not just, like, stayed open to sell French fries and stuff, because...
Yeah. Well...
But it was a Taco Bell... I don't know if it's the same as here. We have the Taco Bell KFC kind of combo stores.
I haven't seen those in years. I think they ended that here.
We still have one here in my neighborhood.
Oh, yeah? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen one of those in fucking so long.
Can you imagine being the Taco Bell employee that had to put up with the KFC customers?
Yeah. Like, boom, problem solved. Go get a fucking chalupa, bud. They're delicious.
Someone will climb through that takeout window, the drive-through window, and just, like, go ape shit on you.
Like, that. Those are the ones that always kind of seem to blow my mind. Like, the chick that fucking tried to fight the bitch over the chicken nuggets. Like, what do you think you're going to accomplish?
They call 911 because they got, like, 9 nuggets instead of 10?
Yeah, like, yeah, you're dumb. You're dumb as fuck.
I'm a fat person, and I love food. But I've never lost my mind on any employee over food.
No, fuck no. No. I mean, yeah, I don't think there's a place I'd walk into where they're like, sorry, we're kind of out today, where I'd lose my shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm happy for the people that at least got to eat the fucking food I was looking forward to, the lucky pricks, and then I'd go on about my day.
I love chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
And I went to Subway because they have amazing chicken noodle soup.
Okay.
And they didn't have any, and I was mad, and I was sad. But I left. I wasn't mad at them, and I left. It's not the employee's fault. So I left, and I went to Tim Hortons to get chicken noodle soup, and they didn't have any, and I had to eat a dry ass bagel that made me really sad. But I still didn't yell at anybody for not having chicken noodle soup.
No, it's fucking stupid. I mean, like, it shows you at least that the fucking restaurant's doing well. Like, would you rather eat at a restaurant that sells food or a restaurant where, like, no one's there and you don't know if that chicken's been sitting in that fucking freezer for 6 fucking years?
That's true. So, like, at least if you went to KFC when the new shipment came in, you were getting fresh chicken.
You're getting good chicken, It wasn't the shit that was kicked under the fucking counter and left there for a month. And it was like, blow it off, bud. It's okay.
I guess their, like, 6-winged chickens didn't, produce enough babies.
Yeah. Oh, how do you produce babies in a test tube?
Yeah. I'm still waiting for that lab meat, I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, that's a game changer. Like, that really is a game changer. It'd be so great. I know a lot of people that I've talked to about it, and I've just asked, would you eat it? They're real up in arms about how disgusting the thought of it is, but that's amazing. That's such a great idea. And I
think
really
that's
hope we can do it.
fantastic. I would try that in a heartbeat.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. It's even if you just think about the environmental stress that it kind of alleviates, just on that principle alone, you shouldn't really fight it.
And I'm like the most finicky person, and anything gross I won't try. I don't want to smell, but I would try that. I mean, lab grown beef. 100%, because I know, like you said, environmentally we're helping the planet, and I didn't have to kill something with a face.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't know if I said this, but I was reading something a little while ago, and they were saying that fucking legumes actually have pain receptors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like the carrots know when your dumb vegetarian asses are plucking them out of the ground. So yeah. So all you hippies,
they said the trees kind of know when they're being chopped down, right? If they emit that high pitched scream is the only word to say.
But yeah, no, I found that one fucking hilarious. Like I was pissing myself as I was reading that, because that's a big thing. A lot of like the vegans use as their argument is I just can't cause pain to a single creature. Okay, that's fair.
Knows.
Yeah, right.
He cried when it died.
It fucking it felt that, man. It felt you rip it away from its fucking family, and now you're murdering it for your sustenance. So how does it feel to be a fucking monster?
Fucking murdering hypocritical bastards.
Fucking bastards. Vegetables are murder.
Vegetables are murder. And we'll end on that note. Have a good week, and we'll be back on Wednesday at 6:30 for our regular show. Thanks.
Yeah, take care.